What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of My Ultimate Team. This is episode number 41, and we start today's episode off with Henry coming back to us and saying it's not a scam. When I duplicate the players, I do an extra one for myself. So Henry is desperate to get this trade going, and he says we need to add him as a friend to complete the transaction. I ask him how to do that because I'm new to PlayStation. What he doesn't know is I've been playing for 15 years, but we'll wait and see what Henry says because he's desperate to get this scam going, but I'm trying to keep him off for as long as possible and just seeing how long he's going to wait, just to see how patient he can be with us, really. But the first game of today's episode is in the Champion Shield here, and we come against this really good side: Adler, Alaba, Hummels, Thiago Silva, Inform Maicon, Inform Matuidi, Royce, Lucas, João Moutinho, and a front pairing of Ibrahimovic and Falcao. So a very, very awesome side for our first game of today's episode in the Champion Shield, of course. We're going back into it. We won it in not the last episode, but the episode before that. We won the Champion Shield for the first time, so we're going to go back into it, see if we can make it 2 wins out of 2. But we did actually take the lead in this game, which is a real surprise. 22 minutes in, Remy's shot was well saved, but Oscar got to the rebound and put the ball into the back of the net. And I was really surprised because this guy had an awesome side. He was playing quite well too, but we were 1-0 up here, and in injury time in the 90th minute, his cross came across the face of goal, but Sanya flicked the ball over the bar. What a superb clearance that was by my right back. I thought for sure he was going to put it in the back of his own net, but Sanya did put the ball over the bar. But of course, he did have a corner in injury time in the 90th minute, and eventually he brings everyone forward, including his goalkeeper, and eventually he crosses the ball in with Alaba, the Bayern Munich left back, towards the head of Mats Hummels, and he puts the ball past Czech. So in injury time, in the 90th minute, he wins a corner and he scores from it as well. So that was a real shame, and of course that was the last chance of the game as well. It was basically one of the last kicks, and or last headers, if you will, and the game did finish 1-1. So that meant we would go into extra time. And we have another 30 minutes worth of play to see who will be winning this game and going through to the quarterfinals. And the first chance of extra time came in the 99th minute. Petr Cech had a goal kick which he cleared all the way forward to Loic Remy, who flicked the ball on. Coutinho then found Oscar, the goal scorer, back to Remy. Remy finds Coutinho, wonderful football, but Coutinho's volley goes over the bar. So that was a great chance for us to take the lead again and make it 2-1, but it was still 1-1. But in the 106th minute, Coutinho robs Royce and finds Ben Arthur. It's a wonderful ball into the face of the box. It's a good save by Adler. It comes to Asaidi. His shot is well saved. Then it comes to Remy, plays the ball out wide to Clichy. Clichy crosses the ball in, and Coutinho heads the ball into the back of the net. So 2-1 to us, which is a real surprise because, as I said, the guy had an amazing side, and I was very surprised I managed to take the game to extra time. But it was 2-1 here. We were back in front in this game. But in the 113th minute, my opponent comes through. Ibrahimovic finds Cavani, who he brought off the bench. Cavani plays the ball through towards Ibrahimovic, but it finds Falcao instead, and the Monaco striker puts the ball past the goalkeeper and makes it 2-2. So that was a real shame, to be in the lead twice in this game was surprising enough, but to throw away a 1-goal lead 2 times in this game, I mean, when you're coming against teams like that, when you face teams like this, you can't really you can't afford to throw away simple goals. So the game did finish 2-2, which meant the game would go to penalties, and of course my penalty record is absolutely shocking. However, we did save the first penalty. Cavani, his substitute, put the ball straight into the gloves of Petr Cech, which meant Loic Remy could give us a 1-0 lead here, and he did just that. He sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, and we are 1-0 up in the shootout. But the following penalty is going to be taken by Falcao, and he also scored, sadly. Cech dived the right way, but it was one of those annoying penalties when he dived the right way, but it goes over the goalkeeper's body. So 1-1 here. Oscar then stepped up for us and sent Adler the wrong way again. So back in front, 100% record as things stand for us, which is a surprise because my penalty record is terrible. Ibrahimovic then stepped up for my opponent, and he found the back of the net as well. So 2-2 here, but of course we did have a penalty in hand. Coutinho was the one that would stand up and take it for us, but unfortunately Adler made the save. I should never go down the middle, should I? I always do badly when I go down the middle. But it's 2-2 here. He then steps up with Marco Reus, the Borussia Dortmund player, but Cech makes an absolutely fantastic save. What a stop that is as well, as he dives to his left and Reus's right. Asaidi then gives us a chance to make it 3-2 here and put us back in front, and he did just that. Finds the top corner. Adler goes the wrong way, and we're in front here. Lucas then steps up for my opponent, and he has to score, but he doesn't. He puts the ball straight at Petr Cech, and that means we win the penalty shootout, which is an unbelievably surprising event because that rarely happens. Crack open a champagne because this barely ever happens. I win a penalty shootout online, and I think it's the first one in the series, and thank God for Cech as well. 3 saves in that shootout. But yeah, we did win by 5-4 on the penalties, and that is awesome news for us. So we do go through to the quarterfinals of the Champion Shield, and I know I keep saying it's surprising, but as you'll see by the stats as well, my opponent was the better player than me. I did have quite a few shots myself, but he was better than me, and I was surprised that I managed to take the game to extra time and take the game to penalties as well, and also go ahead and win it. So I was very pleased with that. But afterwards, we had some players expiring in their contracts as well. Sanya, Ben Arthur, they both had contracts expiring. So we give the contracts to the French right side pairing. And yeah, I'm still thinking about picking up Nani for this side, but not for the time being. I ain't got too many coins at the moment. But we came against this side in the quarterfinals. It was a Serie A side, 4-3-3. Some awesome players in there, including Biabiani, who is just unbelievably quick on this game, so I'll have to be wary of that. But in the third minute, the first chance came to us. Loic Remy got onto the ball down the right hand side and crossed it in, but Coutinho couldn't make it 2 goals in 2 games. His header hit the post and then went straight to Buffon. But early good signs for us as we almost scored there. And in the 14th minute, Coutinho finds Remy. Remy plays the ball through to Hatton Ben Arthur. Ben Arthur holds the ball up, spots around a Coutinho. He rolls the ball through to Loic Remy, and Remy puts the ball past Buffon to make it 1-0 to us. So 14 minutes in, and we take the lead against my opponent here at a snowy Donbass arena. So 1-0 to us. And that was really good for us as well, because I was feeling really confident coming into this game. After a fantastic win against my opponent with a very good side, I felt very good of our chances. I felt our chances would be very good coming into this game. We could make it 2 wins out of 2. And from kickoff, the guy gives the ball away. We play the ball through to Oscar. Nice little heel-to-heel flick. Runs through one-on-one with Buffon and finds the back of the net. I found that goal really funny. He tried to do some skill himself, messed it up, and then I did a couple of easy skill moves, really. But even so, I was able to find the back of the net. So that serves him right, I suppose. But straight from that, it was 2-0, so 2 goals in quick succession, and straight from that he tries to do some skill again with Mertens, gives the ball away. Sandro collects it here, gets completely barged off the ball, and I felt for sure the referee was going to give a free kick. He didn't, but it didn't matter. The ball came back to Sandro. He found Ben Arthur. He chipped the ball over the top towards Loic Remy. Great piece of controls, get round Radu, and he chips the ball over Buffon into the back of the net to make it 3-0. So 3 goals in just a few minutes, and yeah, the game was basically over for this guy. Really, he just completely collapsed, and that made it 3-0. But in the 32nd minute, we're through again. Here is the guy gives the ball away. The ball gets played through to Loic Remy down the left hand side, takes on Buffon, beats him with a fake shot, then the roulette. Buffon hits the deck, then a nice little drag back and a simple finish into the open goal as Buffon was on the floor. That was a nice piece of skill. They're quite simple, yes, but still quite nice to score. That made it 4-0 to us in 32 minutes. But just a couple of minutes after that, Marquisio gets on the ball for my opponent, ends up crossing the ball here towards Biabiani. We get the ball away only as far as Montalivo. It's a really, really scrappy piece of defending, and Montalivo just bundles the ball into the back of the net. Really poor from me, to be honest, but even so, it's 4-1 here, and my opponent gets what would probably be a consolation goal, to be honest, because he wasn't playing very well, and I felt like we were in control of the game. So 4-1 here. But in the 68th minute, Yunus Kabul finds Koscielny. He finds Loic Remy. Gives the ball to Assaidi. Assaidi goes down left-hand side. He's got a lot of pace to Stoke winger. Keeps on going. Gets himself into the box. And it's an absolutely superb goal by Assaidi. If you didn't see that from the normal phase of play, you'll watch it on the replay. It was actually a Rabona goal by Assaidi. The first one in the series. Really, really nice as well. I loved how high he got the ball from that Rabona. It was ridiculous. But as you can see, that was a lovely Rabona goal. It is my first one of this series, and that felt really nice. It's not the most skillful of goals, I do know that. There's no skill moves involved, but even so, it always looks good when it comes off. You know, any skiller will tell you a nice little Rabona goal is always pretty nice to score. So a nice little Rabona by Assaidi. I just love how high the ball went up in the air there. It was ridiculous. But yeah, it's a goal by Assaidi. I know he's another player a lot of people want me to replace, because he is, of course, the lowest rated player in the side at 76. But I don't know what it is about Assaidi. I just really like playing with him. He always does well for me. But it was 5-1 here, and with a few minutes to go, I think my opponent just dropped the controller because he couldn't be bothered anymore. And of course, we just help ourselves here. Petr Cech takes the corner, gets the ball back, runs into the box, takes on Buffon, and finds the back of net with his weaker right foot as well. But yeah, Cech gets the goal, and just help ourselves to a complimentary goal there. If the guy's going to give up, we may as well punish him. So 6-1 was the final score, and that was good news for us. Back-to-back wins. Haven't lost a game in quite a few games now, which is fantastic for us, because I've been quite inconsistent of late. But yeah, hat-trick for Remy, 1 for Oscar, 1 for Assaidi, which was the Rabona goal, and also a goal for our goalkeeper Petr Cech. So 6-1 the final score, and that of course does put us through to the semi-finals of the Champions Shield as we look for back-to-back wins of this tournament. But we do come into the semi-finals eventually after we take a look at the tournament tree here. And as we can see, we also had a couple of players out of contract. Assaidi was injured in the last game. So we went into our healing cards and gave them all injuries card. Because, of course, we do have a few injury cards and healing cards at our disposal at the moment. So we give one to Assaidi. And we do go into our third and final game of today's episode, which is the Champions Shield semi-final. Coming against this side, 78 rated, 100 chemistry. Got a lot of silver players in there, but he's also got got Sirigu, Ayew, Ibrahimovic, Inform Matuidi, and Team of the Year, Thiago Silva. So despite quite a few Silva players, it is an awesome side. You know, you can't take that away. I mean, Thiago Silva, Team of the Year, 94 rated. That's going to be hard to break down. Of course, Inform Matuidi as well as a monster on this game. But it was my opponent who took the lead as well. Another monster, Ibrahimovic got the goal. Ayew crossed the ball in and Ibrahimovic headed the ball past Cech. So just 2 minutes in, my opponent was already in front with the first attack of the game. But in the 11th minute, Petr Cech scored in our last game. But in this game, he gives the ball away. It goes straight to Matuidi, who finds the back of the net. That was my fault. I tried to... Cech came out of his box and got the ball. I tried to play the ball through, you know, be clever, not just blast the ball up the pitch. Try and be clever. I gave the ball away and I got punished by Inform Matuidi. So 2-0 to my opponent. Not a good start for us 12 minutes in, and that was my fault, of course. But in the 29th minute, a great chance for us to hit back. Loic Remy comes through here. Ends up playing the ball over the top towards the run of Coutinho. Beats Thiago Silva, Team of the Year Thiago Silva. The shot is well saved, but it comes to Asaidi, who scored in the last game, but he's not going to mess anything up with a Rabona attempt this time. He just puts the ball into the empty net simply, and that makes it 2-1. But in the 42nd minute, how about this? A free kick by Kabul finds Koscielny, and Sirigu makes an unbelievable point-blank save. What a stop by the Italian goalkeeper, who we of course used to use in a League One side in this series, but sadly he saves it, and it's 2-1 here. But in the 47th minute, we try and get ourselves back on level terms. Gael Clichy, our left back, plays the ball over the top towards Loic Remy. He gets past his man, goes through 1-on-1, real good chance here, fake shots around the defender, and finesses the ball into the bottom corner. So 2-2 here. So from 2-0 down, we do come back to make it 2-2, and that's a great sign of determination there. But in the 59th minute, my opponent's through again down the right hand side. He gets past Gael Clichy with a nice little stop and turn, plays the ball into the box here, and the header goes past the goalkeeper, Cech, into the back of net. So 3-2. It was a simple stop by my opponent. He just turned Clichy with ease. I'm not sure how I was so weak with my left back there, but I was. That made it 3-2. And unfortunately, that was also how the game finished. So we do go out of the Championship. We reach the semi-finals and we get knocked out. So we won't win it back to back, but it was still quite a good game, that one. We did lose 3-2 though, unfortunately, and we'll have to start again, all over again in the next episode. But as always, guys, big thank you for watching today's video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of My Ultimate Team very soon.